In this video, let's look into the URL hacks or URL tips for Power Apps, specifically model driven app. Now, just by making a change in the URL by either appending a query string or altering the URL, you will be able to perform various operations. Now, as you see over here, if I want to hide the navigation bar in a model driven app, I just need to append ampersand nav bar equal to off. If I want to view the team's dark mode in a model driven app, I have to append flags equal to theme option equal to team's dark. And same if I want to get the dark mode enabled, ampersand flags equal to theme option equal to dark mode. So that's the query string I need to append to the URL. Hide command bar, ampersand cmd bar equal to false. And if I want to load a specific entity, etn equal to, and then you specify the custom entity name. So this is just an example. Now, URL dissection. So, what does a URL for a model driven app contains? So, if you closely monitor the URL for a model driven app, it will have uh, an ID reference for an application, page type uh, description, like whether the page type is an entity list, page type is an entity record, page type is a custom, page type is dashboard, or page type is advanced find. Then ETN refers to specific entity. VYD refers to the actual view for that specific entity. Name for a custom page. ID for a dashboard. Type system. And there are other parameters like can override true or false and extra QS for new record for setting the default value. So these are like one of the example which you can see over here as a part of the URL. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just walk you through the model driven app URL, and then we will just closely dissect that. So let's jump into the demo. So here I have a simple model driven app named as Animal Welfare App. Now, as you see over here on the left hand side, I have accounts, contacts, sales dashboard, and one of the custom page which I have created over here. So these are like three different types. Okay. Now let's go into the accounts first. Now let me open Notepad++. So let me just put it on the left hand side of the screen, and let me copy the URL first. So if I copy the URL over here, now if you closely watch the URL, https the tenant name .crm dot dynamics.com, the environment name, question mark app id equal to. So if I just hover my mouse over here, so as you see over here, this is app id, and then ampersand page type equal to entity list, and then we have etn equal to account, and then we have vyd equal to something, and then view type equal to something. Now as you see over here, this particular application model driven app accounts has this kind of query string. App represents the application id, page type is this is an entity list, and that's why it is showing you this. Etn is account, so account table, and the view within that table. Now, if I go into contacts, the URL will be bit different. So let me go ahead and show you that as well. So as you see over here, for accounts, everything is not everything is different, but I'd say app ID is same because we are referring to the same app. Then we have page type, which is also same. ETN is different because it's a contact, and a view ID is different because that's a different view for the contact. Now let's go into sales dashboard. So if I copy the URL for the sales dashboard, so as you see over here, this is like so the app ID. Again, the app ID is same because we are referring to the same app. Then we have page type. Now see this page type. This is dashboard. Earlier it was entity list, right? And the ID is different. That's the dashboard ID. And the type is system, like what kind of dashboard it is. Now we got a different item over here, so which is type. So for dashboard, the type is system dashboard, and whether we can override or not. So that's the difference. So this is the difference which you have seen from the account and contacts. Then we go into the custom page. Now if I go into the custom page, now here again the same thing, app ID is same, page type is custom, and what is the name of the page type? So this is the name of the page type, so this is a custom page type name, and that's why it has come like that. Now this is how it differs. So for every URL or every entity type or the page type, for entity list it's different. So entity list you need to have etn and view id and view type. For dashboard you need to have id, type, and other parameters. And for page type you need to have the name. So that's how the URL is formed. All right, so let's look into the other part in the model driven app. Now I have accounts, I have contacts. Now let's assume that I have another table over here. So let me maximize this. So I have this table called as hardware request. Now this is in the same environment, Girish USA. Now, what if I want to show this in the model driven app just for viewing purpose? I don't want to put that in the left menu. Like if I want to put that in the left menu, I need to edit the model driven app and then add that into the navigation. But I'm not going to do that. I just want to test. I just want to load that table. Now, in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to just copy this part from the URL. Now, if you exactly see what this is the URL of the environment. App ID, page type is entity list, and ETN is contact, right? Now I'll just paste it in a new tab. Now entity is contact, but I don't want that contact to be shown. I want hardware request to be shown. So if I go into the properties of that specific table, any custom table which you have, just copy the logical name and replace it with contact. And now, as you see over here, this hardware request is loaded in that same model driven app. You don't find that in the left menu. You have directly accessed that entity within the URL. And if you want to perform some operation, you can go ahead and do that operation. So this is how you can open a different entity in your model driven app, even if that entity does not exist in your model driven app navigation. So that's one way to go into. Second, if I go inside any of the record, now this is a record. Now if I just copy this URL and show it to you in the notepad, let me paste it over here, and then again we will do some sort of a dissection. So as you see over here, the app ID is same, the page type is entity record, entity is hardware request, ID is some ID. So as you see, now the page type is entity record. Here for custom page type, it is custom. For dashboard, it is dashboard. For entity list, it's entity list. Now this is entity record. So that's how you can go inside a record. Let's go to the account now. Now, what if I want to hide the navigation bar? Now here, I want to hide the navigation bar. So just append to the URL ampersand nav bar equal to off. The moment you do that, your navigation bar is turned off now. Now other option what you can do is you can turn on the dark mode. Okay, now let me reset it. Let me go back over here. Let me reset. Let me refresh the screen. And now here I'm gonna append flags equal to theme option equal to teams dark. Now what has happened over here, it has taken the reference of the theme of Teams Dark, and that's why you see in this particular fashion. So if I go inside this record, it will still be in Teams Dark mode. If I go back, it's in Teams Dark mode. Now let me go into a different tab and go into accounts. And now this time, instead of going into options as themes dark, I will say ampersand flags equal to theme option equal to dark mode. Now this is dark mode. Now as you see over here, this is in a dark mode. Now this one is Teams dark mode and this one is a dark mode. So there's a difference. As you see over here, this is kind of purplish color, this is blue color, and if you navigate inside, this is again in a dark mode fashion, right? So that's how you can change the mode. Now as you see over here, these are called as a command bar. Okay, so let me get out of the dark mode first. So let me go ahead and go into model driven app again. So this is again, I have resetted it. So this is my earlier view. Now I want to hide this nav bar. So in order to do that, what you can do, just append the URL ampersand cmd bar equal to false. And now as you see over here, the command bar has disappeared. So you will not be able to see any command bar. If I go into accounts, from accounts to contacts, again here the command bar is not there. Now if I go inside a record, so let me go inside one of the record, and now here within the record set, when it loads, as you see over here, this is loading up, you do not see any of the command bar. Go back again, go into accounts, and you don't see the command bar. Now let me open the model driven app fresh again, just to show you that the command bar exists in the list view and even in the record view as well. So as you see in the record view, it exists. If I want to hide it again, just type in ampersand cmd bar equal to false. Now as I mentioned to you, if you want to open any record, any list or table, you just copy the schema name, right? So that's how you have opened the record. Now as you see over here within an account, if I go inside any of the record, I can see the URL as the environment URL, the app ID, command bar is false, page type is entity record, ETN is account, the table name, and ID equal to this. So specific ID I was able to open. Now let me form a URL. Now if I want to open a hardware request app and I want to open a specific record. So let's assume I want to open keyboard replacement record. So for that, you need to first get to know the hardware request. So the hardware request is the ID over here. So this is the ID for that hardware request. Now, how do we open that? Now, in order to open hardware request, what we need to do is we need to first copy the entire URL. So let me form the URL. So this is the URL, app ID, page type equal to entity list. So let me copy this entire thing and let me put it over here. So app ID is something, page type is entity list, ETN equal to account, and ID equal to something. So let me go into the hardware request ID, copy it, and let me remove all the spaces and see. Now ETN is account, that doesn't work because this is hardware request table. So this is a custom table which I have. So I just copy this and just paste it over here. Now if your URL is incorrect or it is not well formed, it will throw an error. Now I just typed in. Now as you see over here, active hardware request. What other thing mistake we have done is we want to go inside this keyboard replacement record, but we were not able to go because this is not just an entity list. but this is entity record. So what we need to do is, instead of entity list, just change this to entity record. Copy this URL, paste it, and now you have redirected to an exact record within hardware request table named as keyboard replacement. So that's how you can make those changes. Now let me go into contacts. Okay, now here in contacts, if I click on new, now if I click on new, I can see first name, last name, job title, and various other things. Now let's assume if I click on new, I want this name to be populated, or title to be populated, or last name to be populated. How do I do that? Like when you click on new, it should be automatically populated. So in order to do that, what we need to do is, first we need to get into the URL. Now this is the URL. So app ID equal to this, page type is entity record, ETN equal to contact. Now we need to first get this URL, which we have already got. Then you need to get the logical name of this one, first name. So the logical name of first name is contact. Sorry, first name of logical name is name. So if I go into level up for dynamics tool, which will help me give the logical name. So as you see over here, first name equal to last name equal to job title equal to. So this is like the logical name. Now let me do one thing. Let me append a query string and say extra qs equal to first name equal to Girish, and last name equal to, let me type in Uppal. And if I press this, then as you see over here, it has given me the first name as Girish. Now it does not take other query string. So as you mentioned, as you have seen that I've added other query string as well, extra QS equal to first name equal to last name, but it will allow you to just take that first parameter for extra QS. So that's the syntax. You can do append other fields as well, but then in this example I'm just showing you one, extra qs equal to first name equal to Girish. Or maybe again you can just type in ampersand extra qs equal to last name equal to Upal. And you can see the new record has been opened and the last name is set to open. So that's about for the new contact. Now let me go into the application again. So I'll go into the animal welfare app application, and now here if I want to go into the advanced find, so then there is a page type. So I'll just type in ampersand page type equal to advanced find. Now once you do that, you will be navigated to the advanced find page. But I haven't seen the advanced find page. It is the same accounts page. Now, for that, what you need to do is navigate to the application, but then remove all the other URL component. So let's form that URL, or maybe I will just remove the entire app ID part, and I'll say page type equal to advanced find. So I'm just removing the entire URL and then just typing page type equal to advanced find. Let me see if it is able to find that advanced find page or not. So you cannot just copy this query string in the entire accounts or contacts entity record URL and put in the query type as page type as advanced find, because uh, this is a specific or special type of page, advanced find, and that's why it comes on its own. And if you see the accounts record, contact record, so that page type is either a dashboard or a custom or entity record, or it is an entity list. But this is a different page type, and hence this has to operate independently. So the moment you type in page type equal to advanced find, it will start loading the advanced find page. And now you can see over here the advanced find page has been loaded completely. So that's it, folks. This is how you can uh, manipulate different URL for a model driven app, for hiding the navigation bar, turning on the dark mode, hiding the command bar, displaying the entity, loading specific record, and pre-filling the record on creation of a new record. Thanks for watching.